Black Power was good. Saying it's getting cold out here in LA, so I'm sure it's cold everywhere else. Make sure you increase your water intake, get as much sun as you can when it's available. Eliminate as much dairy as you can, because it produces a lot of the symptoms we have dealing with the health issues we go through during the colder parts of the year. You know, be mindful of how many carbs you take in. Try to balance it out with your fruits and vegetables, because a lot of that is what really produces the colds and flus and other things we deal with during this time of season. But as far as my case, I was sharing last week that GoFundMe, for whatever reason, will not allow me to set up an account. I was reading some of the response they send me. I guess they don't allow you to raise funds for legal matters, pretty much anything else. I saw one person, ask people to give them funds to eat chicken, to keep eating chicken. So, again, they'll finance foolishness, but they won't allow you to finance real issues. But, I appreciate those of you who have been stepping up to help out. I was sharing last week, I did find an attorney, a black sister, who is confident she could help me do a couple things. Anything from having the case dismissed to possibly having the time reduced, to maybe even having it converted over to community service if it goes that route. And again, a lot of you brothers been sharing information. I do appreciate it. But knowing that one of the strategies they used to neutralize the Panthers back in the late 60s, early 70s was, get them caught up in a lot of bogus court cases. Learning from that, we have to move forward with the best strategies to not allow them to do the same with us today, as we are in the middle of a lot of important battles, and a lot of bodies are being dropped right now. So, we'll work that out. But moving forward, this past week, there were 20 more lives that were taken at the hands of so-called law enforcement. Again, those are the terrorists we need to be focused on, not all these foreign terrorists that they fund, ISIS, all the rest of them being funded and armed by the U.S., but our main terrorists here are still police, sheriffs, and, just white fanaticals in general. So that's another reason why I, am not agreeing to surrender my means to protect myself and my loved ones. So, I'm adding a link so y'all can check that out. As far as the issue with the gentrification, folks out there in South Africa earlier this year, a lot of their leadership was calling for people to start taking back land. And to this point, it's been claimed that about 65 of the white farmers, or a majority of the 65 farmers who have been killed, are supposedly white. So whether or not that's related to the efforts to take back their land, I haven't seen all the information on that yet, but go ahead and check it out. I'll include the link to the South African video speaking on that. Out here in LA, we got information that the liquor store over there on Washington and 6th very likely has been shut down permanently. And the connection to that and what we're doing is that we were told a while back that very possibly some of the June cartel also owns that store. And we were told that very likely, because of what's happening over at Hubert's, they had to go ahead and shut that store down. So, if that is the case, again, congratulations to everyone. And one of the things that's been floating around for about a week or so now, maybe even longer, is that we're in the business of extortion. First and foremost, it wasn't even our intention to get money from these people. Like any and all other abusive entities in our community, the police, prosecutors, they'll come after somebody black. Nowadays they got a lot of folks locked up for so-called criminal threats. But when we got other folks actually abusing us, you know, everybody want to be stuck on stupid. So that's what, you know, we initially began a lot of these actions for. You know, we didn't ask Walmart for money when we shut them down. We didn't ask Wiener Schnitzels, Quiznos, the owners over there, for money when we was shutting them down. We basically was dealing with them because they was attacking our people. So that is the basis of the action that we initiated. Now, as we've been moving forward and more people have been coming to the table, and we start looking at other issues that a lot of these stores are not reinvesting in our communities, then yeah, that has come up. So at this point, that is a demand from the people. You know, that's not something that the Africa Town Coalition just came up with ourselves to try to strong arm these folks out of money. But yeah, the fact that a lot of these outside merchants who don't live in our communities is basically economically exploiting us, you know, taking all that wealth back into their communities. In the meantime, between time, folks would like some reinvestments, especially considering the liquor stores are engaged in a business that destroys a lot of people in our communities. So, you know, that's something that's been floating around. One of the rumors been floating around also. It was a rumor, a woman came to me a couple times over the past week and a half stating that white people been financing us to carry out these actions. You know, that's not the case. At this point, you know, white people stand as far from us as they can. So, you know, again, if you know of anybody in our coalition that's been taking money from white folks, you know, let us know. If you know anybody in our coalition that's been taking money from these Koreans or anybody else, let us know. Because to our knowledge, you know, that has not been the case. So, you know, that's what it is. But also want to shout out to the folks out there in Chicago. I saw a post earlier. They now are also carrying out an economic sanction against one of the liquor stores out there for assaulting a customer. So salute to them. And hopefully those of you out there in Chicago that's been following us, y'all get behind and support that movement. You know, as we've been saying, it's not something isolated to these stores we dealing with out here, but it's a cultural issue, you know, where a lot of these outside people have been allowed to come in our communities and obtain these positions. So please support that. But we will continue with the economic sanction here at Huber's. And again, right now we at about about 8, 9, or 10 different locations. You know, so salute to all the brothers and sisters stepping up to make that possible. But, you know, this is a small effort in taking more control of our communities. You know, as we've been gentrified out, this is a small effort for us to dig down and hold ground. Because, again, they legalized the genocide against us. They legalized black power. Yes, sir. They legalized the gentrification against us. They legalized the prison enslavement of our people. You know, pretty much all the efforts of destroying us, of controlling us, of abusing us throughout this relationship has been legalized on their side. And it has always been illegal for us to engage in the right actions to liberate ourselves and take control of our own destiny. So, you know, it's nothing new today. But again, appreciate all of y'all. And we do need your continued support, but more importantly, we need y'all to get involved. All power to the people.